The Fed can only put more money into the economy by buying assets from non-banks. No money goes into the economy when the Fed buys their assets. It's just a swap of one asset for another, called reserves. Banks can't lend reserves into the economy. The non-bank sellers of assets are mainly large institutional investors. They don't spend much of the money they receive. They reinvest it in other assets. That's their business. But this churning of assets up into the stratosphere doesn't trickle down to earth. The real economy of families and shops, of small businesses, of roads and schools, that real economy is bypassed, and we know this. The money is not getting to where it's needed, and until it does, things can only get worse. None of the current policies work because of the way the current system is set up. So here's how we fix it. We have to reclaim our constitutional power to issue money into the economy, unburdened by debt. Last Congress, I introduced legislation to do just that, and I'll be reintroducing it next week. Here's what that legislation does. First, it ends the Fed's unaccountability by putting it under Treasury. Second, it ends fractional reserve banking, ending the bank's ability to control demand in our economy. And third, it empowers our nation to issue money directly into the economy to create jobs to rebuild our crumbling infrastructure, unhindered by debt and interest payments, creating millions of new, good-paying jobs. It gets the money to where it's needed the most. It gets the economy going and keeps it going. It avoids debt and deficits. It primes the pump of the economy. It enables us to regain control of our destiny as a nation. This plan would not create inflation. It would reduce infrastructure costs. Lower costs means that prices can go down. Lower prices do not define inflation. Real wealth will be created with new money. Infrastructure is enduring wealth, unlike the financial wealth of the stock market. If government borrows money created by banks for infrastructure, it's an interest-bearing debt paid for over a long time. But if government creates the money for infrastructure, spends it in the circulation, there's no debt or interest cost. The same amount of money is created in either case, adding to the money supply by exactly the same amount. This is also a way to save the free enterprise system from self-destruction. The American people know what's going on in our economy. It's run by Wall Street for Wall Street. It's run by banks for banks. Unless we take a look at serious structural reforms, we are headed for a two-class society. The ability to coin or create money is an inherent power under Article 1, Section 8 of the United States Constitution. The NEED Act would enable government to invest in America. This coming Sunday, we will observe the 10th anniversary of a terrible blow to our nation's sense of security and confidence. We will never forget September 11th, 2001. But we also need to remember the enduring capacity of our nation to bounce back from tragedy. We need to remember what this country is made of. America is made of vision and courage. Courage and vision of Washington, Jefferson, and Adams to put lives, fortunes, sacred honor on the line for the purpose of freedom and independence. We are the country of FDR and the New Deal, of John F. Kennedy and the New Frontier, of LBJ and the Great Society. We are a nation of charismatic leaders like Ronald Reagan and Bill Clinton, who, agree with them or not, inspired a sense of optimism and confidence in America. We need to remember who we are. And perhaps in that act of remembering, we'll regain our confidence. We'll regain our economic strength. We'll regain our ability to put people back to work. We'll help millions save their homes. We'll protect the retirement security of the elderly. We'll ensure that our children will be able to obtain a college education and a job when they graduate. We'll restore our public institutions and the services they provide. We can do all of this and more, but we must ask that those who operate the engines of finance abandon their recklessness, their selfishness, and pledge allegiance to our nation and its people. We must demand that corporations pay a fair share of the taxes. We must end the offshoring of jobs and profits. While some of our leaders, with trembling hands and nervous eyes, have focused abroad, our country is falling apart from within. America was never meant for decline. America was always meant for an upward, uplit path. We must now correct our course. We must move away from trying to determine the fate of nations around the globe and focus on the fate of the one nation that must matter to us more than all others, the United States of America. Thank you.